Welcome back to Tarheel Talk. I'm Sonya Williams. When it comes to Greek mythology, Medusa is perhaps one of the most intriguing characters. She was considered a monster with a hideous face, snakes for hair, and she was cursed so that anyone who looked into her eyes turned into stone. But she wasn't always that way, and our guest today has drawn from this story of Medusa to create an engaging trilogy entitled Set in Stone. With us again is author R.C. Berry. Now, you've talked about your trilogy.
Yes.
And you said initially that people really don't have to have a vast knowledge of Greek mythology to appreciate and enjoy the trilogy. So talk a little bit about how this might be appealing to someone who doesn't know a lot about Greek mythology.
Well, at the end of the day, it's the story of one woman's life. So in that sense, everyone will be able to relate to it. She is young, she's naive, she's impulsive, she has friendships, she has betrayals, you know, she has love, she has heartbreak. So it's not so steeped in the mythology that the human aspect is missing. Basically, all you really have to know are, you have to recognize the names of the gods, I guess, to know that king is, you know, Zeus is the king of the gods and Aphrodite is the goddess of love. Generally, everyone kind of knows that, but essentially at its core, it's just a story about human relationships. It's a story about isolation and betrayal and just kind of that core of friendship and growing up. So as the series progresses, it's everything that anyone at any time will have to deal with.
Right. Things we can all relate to on some level. Now, I want to talk a little bit about you being self-published, because there are a lot of people who are taking that route. Now, talk a little bit about the process and what that means to be a self-published author.
It is so much easier and so much harder. It's easier because you do get that instant gratification of it's a real book now. It's not just a manuscript. But with that comes, okay, you have to think about cover design. You have to think about formatting properly. You have to think about whether you want to print on demand or if you want to get copies sent to you and try it that route. You have to think of marketing. Everything that a publisher would normally take care of, you have to think of. And as a self-published author, you're under more scrutiny than an author that goes through a well-known publisher, because they are well-known. Everyone automatically knows that if you're going through a publisher, editing is taken care of properly. It's been put through focus groups, and so it has that kind of cachet with it, whereas a self-published author, a lot of times people automatically think, what is this going to be like, you know? So it's very difficult to be self-published, but it does give you that sense of accomplishment of, I did this. So that's another thing that a lot of self-published authors, I think that draws them to that, because it's not like, oh, well, I wrote this, but you kind of get lost in that publisher umbrella of it kind of belongs to them now.
Right.
So I think a lot more people are thinking about the work it took to make a book, and they kind of want that recognition and also that sense of accomplishment that I did this by myself.
And you are doing this completely by yourself. Talk a little bit about the launch party, because you are doing all the marketing and publicity for the launch party.
Right.
Talk us through that process, because that is an amazing amount of work for one person.
Well, thank goodness I'm not completely by myself. I do have a wonderful, wonderful team. So many friends that are being just extremely helpful with the entire process. And it's fortunate for me that I know so many talented people and many creative people. So, you know, anything I need, I have ready resources. I know dancers, I know choreographers, you know. I myself used to have an event planning business, so that helps out a lot. But the party is set for February 8th. It's coming along nicely. It's still a little ways off, so I'm trying to pace myself, because I very much like to plan in the future, and that's a little bit too far in the future to completely have everything ironed out. But it's just going to be kind of a celebration of the accomplishment, and letting more people know about the books and kind of letting them see that human aspect to it. So that's where we'll officially release the book trailer, and have a couple of readings and things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's exciting. It's nerve-wracking, but it's exciting.
A lot of work, and your passion comes through. Tell people how they can find out more about the books and order them.
Well, the best way is through the website, so www.setinstoneseries.com. Each book has its own, little spiel in there, so you can read more about it, read a synopsis if you'd like to, so sample a couple of the pages to see if it's for you. You can order it straight from the website. It also links to, of course, the self-publishing site that I started with, May Torres, and it links you to my site, so you can learn more about me if you want, and see just kind of what else I have in the works. And of course links to the campaign that we're running now to try to fund the video and the launch party that's going to be coming up in February.
Right. So people can go to your website and make a donation to help with your campaign.
Yes, and it's great to do it that way because it's not just people contributing their money. You actually get something for every level. So we have perks and wonderful prizes for every level of giving, so you're actually receiving something for your contribution.
Absolutely, and again, that is setinstoneseries.com.
Yes.
And this wonderful trilogy about Medusa.
For starters.
Yes, and we'll be looking for more to come. R.C. Berry, local author, we thank you so much for sharing your work and your talent with us, and thank you for being our guest today.
Thank you for having me.
That's it for this week's Tarheel Talk. To comment on this or other episodes of the show, send us a message on our Facebook page or an email to tarheeltalk@fox50.com. I'm Sonya Williams. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your week.